Good morning. Do you remember these guys? Home guard seed potato. This little 3-inch pot has got one full seed potato growing in it. I'll bring these close to the camera in a minute. As you can see, that chit's broke the surface. I cut a seed potato in half, home guard, straight down the middle, one chit on each. That chit's showing through and that chit's showing through now. I'll just bring these a bit closer. How's that? So what's this experiment about then? Well, I've seen lots of potatoes cut in pieces, but I haven't seen many planted, and I've only seen one harvest since I posted my last video, and it was a good one at that, I must admit. And so I decided I would conduct this little experiment. So we've got one whole potato growing in this 3-inch pot, half a potato with one chit on it, and another half a potato with one chit on it. So we're going to take these outdoors now and sow them up into their final growing positions. These potatoes are going in 10-inch pots. We'll grow them on. It is an early potato home guard, so it's only going to take, depending on the weather, I don't know, 15 to 20 weeks, something like that. I really don't know. And then we'll do a 3-pot shootout. We'll drop the full potato, we'll do a count and away. We'll drop the 2 half potatoes, we'll do a count and away, and we'll see what we've got. Okay, so come on, let's go. We'll go outside and plant these up in the 10-inch pots. Okay, we've got our 10-inch pots. We've already got some compost in the bottom of them, a couple of inches. We're going to try and transplant these potatoes, this potato and these 2 pieces of potato into these pots. Molly, can you come round here please? Thank you. Right, so this is the potato that we're going to try and get out. This could be a disaster, perhaps not. We won't know till we try. How's that? How's that? That's the potato growing on in that 3-inch pot. We'll pop this in here now, hopefully without breaking it. As you can see, there are more chits coming up, look. That chit's the one that's broke surface. This is a chit that will break surface. Okay, we'll stand that in the middle of there. We'll just move that to one side for the time being. And now we'll do the pieces of potato. Okay, this was half a potato with just the one chit on it. Not as many roots, but you wouldn't expect that, would you? It's only half a potato with one chit. But yeah, roots are forming, so it's got away. So we'll try and stand this one in. So far so good. Yeah, that's standing in nicely. Just pop that one there. And we'll try this one. See if we can get 3 out of 3. That's not for you, Molly. Right. Just keep off. Now this one's showing a few roots, not as many as the other one. But it has got roots. Excuse me, miss. We'll just sit that one in the bottom. Okay. Now we'll go and get some compost and we'll half fill these pots. Okay. Come on, Mo, let's go and get some compost. Right, let's fill these pots with compost. This is some of the compost I've been making over the winter months. It's a mixture of spent compost from last year, good topsoil from molehills, seaweed, leaves and grass, all composted down on the top of a raised bed for several winter months, and this is what it looks like now. So I'm expecting there's some good stuff in here. And before I put this in, I've just remembered, so I'm going to have to rewind this. I'm going to put some blood, fish and bone in this mix. This is the blood, fish and bone I'm using. It's in pellet form. I'm just going to put a slack handful in this batter, mix it up with the compost, and then fill these pots. And a word of warning while I'm doing this about blood, fish and bone. Okay. If you're going to use blood, fish and bone and put it in the bottom of a planting hole, you're probably safe enough. But if you're going to use blood, fish and bone as a top dressing, so it's not far below the surface, blood, fish and bone smells. Not that you would notice it, but a dog would, Molly would. That's why she's got her head in that pot now. So when I top dressed a raised bed with blood, fish and bone recently, and I left Molly outside unattended, when I came back there was paw marks all over the raised bed, and that was because Molly could smell the blood, fish and bone. It must have been like burying a bone to a dog. It was like a honey trap. I'd said a honey trap for Molly. And my first reaction was I thought I'd had a cat. I never suspected Molly at all, but she was looking quite sheepish. Excuse me, Molly. Hey! She was looking quite sheepish, so I knew it was Molly that'd been on the raised bed and paddled all over the place and scratted it up, to be honest. So, right, that's as much as we're putting in there for the time being. So if you are going to use blood, fish and bone, if it's the bottom of a planting hole, fine. If you don't have a dog, fine. If you do have a dog and use it as a top dressing, don't be surprised if your dog gets a whiff of it, thinks it's a bone and scratch it up. Okay, so we'll stand these potatoes to one side now, carry this experiment on, and let's see what we get. Okay, homegrown veg, signing out.